Hello and welcome along to the start of a brand new season from this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 12, episode 1, and today we're back as usual for our summer transfer special. Perhaps not the most hectic one, but certainly one of the biggest ones. Some big deals done by our director of football. Perhaps some that are a little bit surprising as well, so I'll be interested to get your thoughts on it. We've still got a month to go, but there's next to no transfer budget left and still a couple of gaping holes in the squad. So I'm a little bit worried about what the future's got for us here. Don't forget we're preparing for life in the Champions League and trying to defend a German Cup title as well as keep our top 4 place in the Bundesliga. There is a lot of pressure on us and we need a good squad to do it. But today we've got the novelty as well of starting our season with a German Super Cup final. A chance to win a trophy in our first game against the same opponents we beat in the last episode. So I'll be interested to see how you think we'll get on in that one, and I'll ask you for your predictions once you've seen the summer transfers. But before we go and do that, a massive thank you to everyone who continues to follow the series. I really do appreciate it. If you're looking forward to this one, the summer special, and a big chance to win another trophy, please do put a thumbs up on the video. If you have missed the last episode, the cup final at the end of last year, a brilliant game, go back and catch up with it. I'll put a link in the eye above. And subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell on down below for daily FM20 content, a weekly live stream series, some Cricket 19 videos, and also a stadium review series as well. If you're a professional football fan, please do check out my podcast channel as well. We've got loads of interviews with professional footballers, topical podcasts and matchday vlogs as well. It's really taken off the last few weeks, so thank you all for your support. But it's time we go and get into the transfer special and have a look at the squad we've got for the new season. And the problem I have is we've lost a lot and not gained many. So a reminder as we head over to this screen that we already lost Ed Seekins and Markovic, whose loan deals ended. I mean, there was a little bit of problem with that one because Ed Seekins, our director of football, actually put in a bid for. He tried to get him on loan again. He was loan listed by City, then got a big injury, so that's why we didn't get that second striker back. And then Markovic, we did put in a bid for as well, I think. I'm sure the director of football went for him, and I can't remember how to spell his name, so let's go and have a find. He went to Austria Vienna, and I'm not quite sure why he picked them, because we're a far better club, so that's a very bizarre move for him, but we can't hold it back. He's chosen to go there, and that's up to him. There are some offers coming in for Wilhelmsen, rejected offers in a region of 50-60 million. How much longer realistically before they accept them? We've got the 15-year-old keeper who's getting massive offers, so he must become a brilliant player. And then Liu Nan, who looks like he's on his way, 12.5 million Sampdoria as it stands. And there's also a lot of other players that have gone out as well. And we have got a few good replacements in. But you can see they're mainly from one club, and the money might not have been spent perfectly. But let's start with the outs as we always do. So we've got a couple of the younger ones. Peter Maliszewski, he's gone to Werder Bremen 3. A 20-year-old Polish player, and to be honest, he was never going to make it. So no issue with that. The director of football then got busy with the first team. So Nadiem Amiri, he's gone over to China. Now 33 years of age, was declining, fell out of the team towards the end of last year. So I've no problem with getting him off the wage bill whatsoever. And then Nuno Felix, who was out on loan last year, a very average centre-half. He's gone over to Hanover at the bottom end of the league. In fact, did they get relegated in the end? I think they might. But he's gone there for just under 4 million. David Buar, the backup right back, he's gone to Werder Bremen, but he has been replaced, so that's not an issue. He's on loan there for the season. They're paying all of his wages, so no problem whatsoever. And then we get on to some of the bigger ones. So Deshaun Radan, who we bought for nearly 20 million last year, has been sold for half that to Sparta Prague. Definitely a flop. Had injuries, had struggles to score goals. Didn't get anything in the league, though he did score one in the cup. And to be honest, that goes down as a bad signing by the director of football. He has gone. We have managed to get all the wages back for him, but it's half the amount we paid 1 year ago. It's definitely not a good deal. Lirim Kastrati started last season on fire, had been a good player for the club, got a big injury, came back and was never the same. And at 31 now, the Albanian just starting to decline, not really up to the scratch of the Bundesliga top 4. And he's gone off to China, where he's now going to be a superstar. So the same club as Amiri, but he has started on absolute fire. But we got a good deal for him. 20 million quid's incredible. All of his wages paid. I mean, that's fantastic. And then finally, two youngsters that have gone off to Mainz. Marius Thiel, he is a 15-year-old defensive midfielder. He's got okay potential. They were both 2.5, I think. But it doesn't look like they're both going to make it. And then Igor Jukic, who on paper looked a bit better. But as a winger, Perhaps not. He looked more suited to the right back role. But I don't think he was going to make it at our level, so I've no problems with him going. Both of those getting nearly £1 million. And then as you can see, 108 million has been spent, largely on Borussia Dortmund's rotation side. But we'll start with the free agent, which was pre-agreed from Schalke, Majid Ashimeru. He is a defensive and central midfielder. Really solid actually. At 32, we're paying him a bit too much. But he's really good. Mentally he's strong. He'll be good in the dressing room. Good technically as a playmaker. Good backup to Wilhelmsen as needed. But I'm worried about physically. He's already average and I think he might start to decline soon. He's still playing for Ghana, so we'll lose him in the international breaks. But he's got loads of experience. He's played for Wolfsburg, he's played over in Spain, he's played for Schalke, Red Bull Salzburg, he's played in Switzerland, Austria, he's played everywhere. A really good pro, and to be honest, for a year, probably good to have at the club. Then we move on to the big deal of the summer. Niels Sommer, who we're not going to see today. Unfortunately, he's injured. £44 million from Borussia Dortmund. Has played for Roma, Villarreal and Basel as well. Massive clubs he spent his career at. A world-class midfielder at 27. A deep-line playmaker, so I sort of assumed he was coming in to replace Wilhelmsen. But that deal hasn't gone through yet. So we've got a lot of playmakers here. But he is comfortable as a Mazzala, so I think he'll be alright in midfield. But a very good player, and once he's fit, he'll definitely get in the team. And if we've got him and Wilhelmsen, I'd argue that's probably the best central midfield partnership in the league. So let me know what you think of that one. Certainly an interesting deal. As we do that, we'll move on to our next one. Luca Umbehan. He's coming from TSG Hoffenheim. Apologies if I've pronounced that awfully. 12.75 million, a 29-year-old German goalkeeper. Has played at Dortmund too and in Hoffenheim for his whole career. A brilliant goalkeeper, 3-star ability, 3-star potential. Almost identical to Maximiano. There's nothing to separate them with. So my thought process is that this guy will play in the league and then Maximiano will play in the Cups and in the Champions League. So let me know if you think that's the right move or not. But for me, mentally, this guy's a bit stronger. So over a consistent league campaign, maybe he's the right man. But a good player and I'm really happy to get him in. Next on the list is a very good player in a position we needed, but I'm a little bit puzzled still. So Andrea Pinamonti, a real player, £40 million from Borussia Dortmund. Now, he's been there for a few years. He's played at Bayern, he's played at Atalanta, he played at Genoa where he starts this actual career at, and he's played at Frosinone and Inter Milan as well. He's scored goals everywhere. He's a brilliant player, a left winger or striker, plays perfectly as the inside forward, suits us down to the ground. Scored goals for Italy as well. But at 31 years of age, why are we paying 40 million for someone? He's become a highest paid player at the club. He's got 3.5-star ability, but surely he's going to decline soon. Yes, he's got good natural fitness, a good personality. Technically, he's not great, but he's a very good finisher and mentally he's strong. But I do worry, I really do about this, because we're never getting back the money for him. And I know as the fact we're not in charge of transfers and contracts, that's not our prerogative. But you still have to look at that and go, why on earth would you spend that money? Dortmund will be delighted with that deal. And to be fair, he'll probably be a very good player for us this year. But it doesn't really make sense financially for the club. But in terms of a player, I've got no complaints having him here. And the same applies to the last deal, which is just fantastic. From Dortmund again for 11.5 million, Marcos Martinevski is a brilliant right back. We've talked about him when we played against him last year. He's an Argentina international, can also play at centre half. And although he's a bit more defensive minded, which may well suit the Champions League, he's basically an upgrade on the experienced Pereira. So a proper right back there. Started his career in his native Argentina at River Plate, has played for Dinamo in Croatia, went over to Brazil and has played for Dortmund last season. He's a really solid pro and I'm happy to have him here. And this one is a much better deal. At 26 years of age, we'll probably get a profit for him. So that's a very good deal for the club. But it does leave a few unanswered questions. So let me know in the comments what you think of those signings. Because generally they are very good. But it does leave us a problem. If we go to the squad, you'll immediately probably notice two things. We haven't got a second left back. The only player that's here is our backup from last year, Mauro Gelli. Because Markovic hasn't been replaced and he rejected us. He's not got the best natural fitness, so he's not going to play 2 games a week. And he's one of the worst rated players at the club, so we don't want to rely on him. But he is going to have to play in the cup final today because we don't have any other options. Vladimir Jovanovic can't cover there, but he is now becoming our centre half as a wonder kid. And then the other problem comes up front. We've got Alexander Bittel, who we know is going to score goals. Pinamonti can cover there if needed, but we haven't got any extra wingers, so we can't afford to move him from the left. And we've only got Bittel as a striker, so either way, we haven't got enough quality. I mean, our backup wingers are Bowles and Fernandes, who aren't great anyway, but I'm really worried about the lack of depth in certain areas. Now, I know Leonard will go, and that will be 12.5 million, and I'm aware that probably Wilhelmsen will go, and that will be 70-80 million in the bank. But they have to be replaced with very strong players, or it doesn't make any difference to us. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan out. I'm a little bit torn. Despite us signing good players, I'm worried that moving forward we're not going to have a good squad because we're not as balanced as last year. And that is always the key when we go into a season. So let me know what you think. I've had a look through the youth teams. There are some sort of 2-star ability players with big potential that we can promote, we can involve if we need to, particularly in the second team, but also in the 19s as well. So I guess Rolf Neumann is the best one. He's a great player, 16 years of age, 2-star ability, 4.5 potential, can play number 10 or the right wing. So they're the sort of players we're talking about. We've got a third choice keeper there, a young defender, but we haven't quite got that quality. So plenty of thinking to do and plenty of work to do. But as the dynamics look pretty good, bar the cohesion, we've got a big cup final to focus on. It's Bayern Munich, who we battered in the last one. We've got one player missing, and it's our big summer signing, the marquee man. And there's a couple out for Bayern, who we hope will rest some players today, because it will give us the chance to go and win a cup final. So I'm going to go and pick this team. Everyone's getting towards fitness. We've got a German Cup game in a week's time before we play our first game of the season 2. So we're going to pick a squad that we think can win the game. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that 11, and we'll be back in a minute to run through it. So squad picked, with Leonard missing out, he's going to be going soon, so we don't want to get him involved in the season. Niemeyer will be on the bench as a result, the young 16-year-old. Aside from that, we've picked everyone that's available. So there's a couple of big decisions we've made. Martinevski coming in at right back to make his debut ahead of Pedro Pereira. Jovanovic will be our centre-half for the season. And then on the left wing, Pinamonti will make his debut today. But aside from that, it's pretty much as you'd expect. So we've got Maximiano in goal, our Cup and Champions League keeper, Martinevski and Jelly the fullbacks with Jovanovic and Kawakita the centre-halves, Wilhelmsen and Jimenez in the middle, of course Sommer still out injured, Abeng and Pinamonti the wingers, Vera attacking midfield, and Alexander Bittel moving forward up front. Had played off the left wing while Seekins was here last year, but today he's all on his own up top. Interestingly, he wants to be a complete forward, so we might have to keep an eye on that as the season goes on. We will drop to a balanced mentality when we go into it. And to be honest, I don't know what else we want to do here. I want to distribute short from the goalkeeper, because that's something that will work well for us in the season. Into the first half we go. It's Borussia Monchengladbach v Bayern Munich. Will our summer signing start? What do you think the score will be? And can we win 2 cup finals in a row against the Bundesliga champions? Both sides gone for the 4-2-3-1 then. Vinicius Jr. over on the right wing. Aside from that, it is all regens, with the exception of the keeper Nubel, But a much younger squad, the likes of Kimmich and Haidara left out. So you could suggest they're giving a few a go. I mean, there's some big names there. Vidal, Bayer, Tapiero, they're always regulars. But the likes of Altair at right back. I mean, he's a backup. He's 26, but he's a backup. Who else is in there that we don't recognise? Bonte at centre-half. Okay, maybe this side's stronger than we think. Let's go and talk to the lads and get them to do their best. We want them to do it for the supporters. That's what Rui Pedro Silva recommends. Been almost no changes to the backroom staff. A couple of additions, but not really any changes in the big roles. And we're also going to drop to our balanced mentality. So let's get into the first half and see if this one goes as well as the German Cup final last season. Well, what a boring game this has been. 35 minutes gone. It didn't matter because Kawakita has the first big chance. He's headed it wide. He did well to get enough on it. But unfortunately, it's wide of the post. There's only been one shot on target, which was ours. We didn't get to see it. And now it's Bayern on the attack from a set piece. Not really been much from open play so far. But can Bayern create a second wave of attack here? Tapiero in the middle. Just dropping deeper and switching it out to Altair. And he finds Bonte the returning centre-half. Out to Altair again on the right wing. Chance to cross into Vidal. It's a good header, but just over the bar. And Maximiano, I think, just about had it covered. So we're about to reach half-time. It's been a terrible first half. But it's 0-0 and we're still in the cup final. This is basically where we were in the last game. I know there was a little bit more action. But we were 0-0 at half-time. We looked pretty comfortable. We looked in the game. And then we went nuts. So can we do it again today? I'm not so sure. There's a few with pre-season fitness. There's a few new faces that haven't quite gelled yet, but it was Bayern Munich going long this time. The header away falls for Bayer, and now it's out to the left wing to the overlapping fullback. It's Tung with a chance to cross, back to Bayer. Bayern Munich looking threatening here. Legrand into the box, Vidal to Tapiero, and that is an unbelievable strike. What a way to open the German season. A wonderful goal. We're going to demand a bit more from the lads, but it doesn't look good so far, does it? Although, hang on a minute, we've got a free kick at the other end. Wilhelmsen on the edge of the box, into Jovanovic who loses out. Vidal heads away, and then the counter's on. Jimenez gets there though, switches it to Pinamonti. Oh, he's hit the post! On his debut, he almost scored. It rattles the woodwork. Thunderous strike. It's eventually gone behind from the clearance, and Kennedy Abeng takes the corner. A poor one, headed away as far as Jovanovic. He's lost out to Vidal, and now Bayern have got a 2-on-2. Jovanovic on a booking, he can't dive in here. Oh, he has. He gets away with it. It's out for a corner, but he was about an inch away from a red card there. Let's see what Bayern do with a set piece. If they make it 2, it's game over. We've got Oliveira playing poorly in the number 10. Vidal heads it in straight at Maximiano. And I think the first changes of the match are on here. Pereira's going to come on at right back. Martinevski was struggling for fitness anyway. Oliveira is going to be replaced by Salih Hassan. He'll drop into midfield, I think, and then Hassan in the number 10. Or do we just leave it as it is? Let's leave it. Jimenez is a much better, quicker player. We'll leave him in that role. It's where they prefer to be. And we'll give it 5 more before we make some more changes. I don't know how many you get in a German Super Cup. Obviously in England you get 5 or 6 for the Community Shield. But I don't know how that applies here. Tapiero's picks up an injury for Bayern. We don't want to gamble too soon, you see. If we end up losing 2 or 3, it will be a problem. Jolson Fernandez can come on the left, as can Bowles. So I'm going to bring Bowles on for Pinamonti. Obviously on debut, we don't want to overstretch him. Bowles prefers to be on a support duty. Bittel can be a complete forward now. That's what he wants. Kennedy Abeng's had a poor game, but it's not time for him to come off yet. Can we try Jimenez perhaps? No more subs, so you can only make 3. So that's going to be it for the game. Now we've got to see if we can fight back. Bayern have been much the better side in the second half, and they're on the front foot again. Tung the left back into Bittman. Wilhelmsen nicks it off him. Good defending. Long ball forward. Bittel can't get there. It's well defended by the centre half. And Haidara switches it as Bayern counter. Vidal plays Bayer in on the left. Good challenge, but he doesn't get enough on it. It falls to Wilhelmsen on the line who clears. And now Bittel can counter. It's end-to-end stuff. Kennedy Abeng's beaten the fullback. There's 2 up in support, and we've really got to make this count. But Bonte, the centre half, with an incredible tackle. The last man, he had to win it. And with 10 to go, Bayern still lead 1-0. And the goal kick's found Bayer. Now Hadara. Legrand back to Tung, the left back. They're just looking control, if we're being honest. They look the better side. They look confident. And we haven't made the most of the counter. It's Haidara back to Legrand. He's got a chance to switch it, but goes short to Haidara instead. And now Legrand again. Back to Haidara. Man over on the right. Goes back to his centre half though. Bayern just content to play it around. They're not looking for that chance, though they may get one anyway. As Tung finds Bayer. Now Bittman. Vidal. Time to shoot, but he goes back to Bayer. He does shoot, and Maximiano makes a great save. Vinicius Jr. loses out on the rebound, and now Bowles can charge down the left. This is a brilliant end-to-end finish. Bayern still look the better side, but we've got a chance here. Here's Bowles. Delivers into the box. Hassan's header's in! The keeper's let it through his hands. It was a terrible header. It hit the target, but it did not much else. Bonte didn't win the header, and Nubel drops it through his arms. And from nowhere, it's 1-1. 5 minutes to go. Let's encourage these boys, as we've got another free kick. Who's going to take it? It's Jovanovic from a deep position. Long ball in towards Kawakita. A bang, Hassan again! Oh my word, the number 10's done it. Salih Hassan off the bench. He has come on, an average Iraqi midfielder, and he has scored 2 poachers finishes, a header that the keeper should have saved, and then sliding in, busting a gut from 7 or 8 yards. And he just gets it in the back of the net, and it is 2-1 to Gladbach. But Bayern Munich are coming forward. Fetz delivers. What an end to this game. But Abeng can counter and wrap this up. We've got 3-on-3. Abeng's charging at the left back. He's beaten him. He's into the box. Kennedy, Abeng. What a run that was. A brilliant save Nubel this time, and it's behind for a corner kick. And the last 10 minutes of this game has been absolutely breathtaking. A brilliant performance so far, and Kennedy Abeng now with the corner. To the back post, Bittel's there. Can't get enough on it, and Jovanovic will recycle possession, but we cannot afford to give it away here. We're into stoppage time. We're going to make some big time-wasting tactical changes, drop the line of engagement. We're not going to press the goalkeeper. We are going to slow the pace down and we're going to time waste all the time. Even the tempo will drop slightly. We want to be more disciplined. You all know the drill, as we've got a throw in on the right with Pereira. Bayern have left 3 up front. I didn't get a chance to change the fullbacks. Wilhelmsen, Pereira, Hassan, please get a third. Hassan to the byline. What a man of the match performance off the bench it's been, but it might not be enough yet. Haidara goes long and it's 3-on-2. Vinicius Jr. beats the centre half. He's into the box unopposed. Vidal scores. Oh, it's a frustrating moment. We wanted to change the fullbacks, but we didn't get the chance. And now we're going to have to undo all of those changes every single time. And it annoys me that you can't do them at the same time from the quick subs. Because no situation where you're 2-1 up. And I know you can say about the tactical tweaks. There's no situation in a game where you're 2-1 up, where your defence of their own accord would leave a 2-on-3 at the back. It would never happen. So I don't quite understand why that isn't replicated in FM. It's the same as the short corner thing. But penalties with 20 minutes to go didn't look possible. So we've got to be pleased with that. But I'm so frustrated at the way it's gone. Bales and Hassan will step up. Abeng and Bittel and Jovanovic. I mean, looking at the ratings, we're not going to win this. So let's just go and enjoy the shootout and see if we can get the result. Bales is a young player, but by far the best penalty taker at the club. Can he score? Right-footed, into the corner. Brilliant penalty from Bales. The youngster delivering there. Had a good game off the bench. Did set up that first goal as well. And now it's the experienced Vinicius Jr. Up against Maximiano. Probably should have got there. It was a good height. He went the right way. And now Salih Hassan, the hero that's got us here. Can he now make the most of the penalty? It's into the corner. He was never going to miss. The confidence in that lad is incredible. And now it's Fetz for Bayern Munich. Maximiano in goal. Can he be a hero? Maximiano doesn't get there. It's in the corner. And the classic stereotype about German teams and penalties is sticking with them. As Kennedy Abeng comes up for the third. Another young player. A good one for us, but that's a poor penalty. It's one of those perfect height, feeble power, and just tipped behind by the keeper. As Joshua Kimmich, the experienced fullback, steps up. Can he score? Or will Maximiano reprieve? He doesn't. It's straight into the corner. And Maximiano does not look like saving a penalty here. Alexander Bittel must score. We're already one behind. Up he steps into the corner. 3-3, but Bayern have a penalty in hand, and Haidara will take it. Has been at the club a few years, has played in many games against us. Can the keeper finally do it? He can't. It's in the corner. And now Jovanovic against his former club, the centre half, 19 years of age, and he must score or Bayern Munich win. And then he can hand over to Maximiano. But it's Jovanovic stepping up, left-footed, and he has got to beat the keeper to keep us in this. And after being ahead with 3 minutes to go, this is a devastating position to be in. And Jovanovic gives us a reprieve. He scores. And now Maximiano must save or make this man miss, or a Bayern Munich will be lifting a trophy. But it's Vidal, the man who got Pellion to penalties, who is stepping up. Will he score? He's a very good finisher. He's a world-class striker. It's probably the reason they've left him till 5th. But Maximiano can become a hero. I might even make him first choice again. But he dives the wrong way. Bayern win 5-4 on penalties. And they lift the German Super Cup. It was a close game. Salih Hassan off the bench a hero. But unfortunately it's not enough. Borussia Monchengladbach 2. Bayern Munich 2. The referee got an awful rating, by the way. And we lose 5-4 on penalties despite a brilliant comeback. We're going to tell the lads we appreciate their efforts. They did really well. But not the best way to start the season. It's heart-aching a penalty shootout. So disappointment in the end. We had basically every emotion in that game. It's one of those things. A little bit of money in. Hassan has to get praise. He's the one who got us to that shootout. But it ends in defeat and it ends without a trophy. So we're going to go through the rest of this summer transfer window, start our Bundesliga campaign and also play away at 1860 Munich in the Cup. And we're going to be back for transfer deadline day. So we'll show either the Augsburg or Paderborn game. But on paper, as you can see, bar Hoffenheim, we've probably got one of the friendlier starts to the season until we get to Bayer Leverkusen. St. Pauli at the top tier as well. There's a lot of surprises in the Bundesliga. But then when we get to mid-October onwards, we've got a horrible run. Schalke, Champions League, Wolfsburg, Leipzig, Champions League, Ingolstadt the slight break, Champions League, Bayern Munich. I mean, that's a horrid run. So we must get points on the board early. If we can get a long unbeaten run like last season, who knows what will happen. Fingers crossed we get a left back and another attacking player as well, but I don't know where that money's coming from at the minute. but we'll trust our director of football and hopefully we'll get the players we need to build this squad. Champions League football, we'll be focusing on that this year too, and we'll see what our group stage draw is when we come back next time, and I hope you'll be there to join me. So if you did enjoy this video and that brilliant cup final, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the performance, the transfers so far, of course our best one didn't get to play in that game, and where those holes in the squad are going to be filled, because I can't see how he does it with the budget remaining. My only thought is that Wilhelmsen will probably get sold. Subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on below. You'll get alerts as daily content releases on the channel, from FM20 to long-term stories. We had a big start to the season with Dorking on Friday, an epic transfer special, and then our first 2 games on Monday as well. So I hope you can catch up with those ones. It's been an interesting ride with them. And on Sunday, of course, the Stadium Review series focused on my favourite club, Luton Town. We focused on Kenilworth Road, a ground I've visited hundreds of times, so if you've ever been there as a home or away fan, please do come and get involved. There's also 2 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career and a weekly live stream series on the channel every Tuesday morning at 10 AM. Thank you again to everyone who came along this morning. There's a full stream replay on the channel if you want to catch up, and of course we'll be live the same time next week. And finally, a big thank you to everyone that's tried out our podcast channel. We've had loads of interviews with professional footballers, an absolute dream, and there's matchday vlogs and topical podcasts too. So please do come and get involved, give it a try if you're a football fan, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as this one. But a big thanks for watching and your continued support, and I hope to see you next time for a big end to the transfer window.